That's right. Welcome back in, Jerome's Happy Friday. Vikings versus Cowboys. The cheating Drew Pearson, push-off Drew Pearson game. The Herschel Walker game. Whatever game. The Vikings 8-1, get it done, have a chance to move to 9-1, secure themselves atop the NFC North division, make headway to try and get that 1 seed, snatch it away from the Eagles like a chain, and baby. Just so many things going on. CBS late window. You got Nance, you got Romo, you got everyone. Just, it's going to be a good time game. But it cannot be an emotional hangover. Can't be a trap game. Can't be looking forward to the Patriots on Thanksgiving night. They got to take the Cowboys seriously, despite what happened last week, Mike McCarthy. The grown-up version of the kid from Up. It's funny, man. But here are 10 keys to a Vikings victory on Sunday. Key number 1, Jefferson for MVP. It's Justin Jefferson's world. We're literally just paying rent here, where Jefferson went off 10 for $193 and a touchdown versus Buffalo. He's on pace to break the NFL single-season receiving record for 2,002 yards. Jefferson is the alpha wide receiver 1 in the National Football League, and it's not close. And Dan Quinn knows this, the Cowboys defensive coordinator, former Falcons head coach. And so they're going to do whatever it takes. And now it's probably going to be Trevon Diggs shadowing 18, as well as some safety help over the top. And Trevon Diggs, he is a ball hawk. He will gamble. He will take chances and try and get an interception or two. But here's the thing. Like, he gets his interceptions, but he'll give up a lot of yards in coverage as well. Where last year he gave up 1,068 yards in coverage, which was by far number 1 in the NFL. It was number 1 by like 150 yards. It was crazy. This year, 419 and 2. He's 8th in the league in terms of giving up yardage in coverage. So, I mean, Jefferson, he has a chance to eat. I think Jefferson has a chance to really put his stamp on things. Where, I mean, Jefferson, well, he showed up and showed out in potentially the greatest regular season game in NFL history on Sunday. Now, in the late window, he has a chance to show up and show out with a national audience on CBS. And then Thanksgiving night, it may be one of the most watched games of the season. And then Jefferson has a chance to stick it to Bill Belichick. Woo! Nice little run for Justin friggin' Jefferson, baby. That's right. Next up, key number 2 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. Dalvin, 4, where Dalvin changed the game against Buffalo, busted that 81-yarder. Great block by Justin Jefferson on that, by the way. Dalvin's really been revving up since the Dolphins game, and he's starting to hit his stride. And the offensive line up front, the tight ends, the wide receivers blocking downfield, everyone is doing their job and doing a phenomenal job blocking in this running game, man. Cowboys will give it up on the ground. They've given up 1,288 yards, rushing 28th and 29th in the league, 4.8 yards per carry, which is 26th in the league. So the Vikings have a chance here to establish the line of scrimmage, punch Dallas in the mouth, and just have this keep going on all damn day long. Where we've been waiting for a game where the Vikings play the way that they're designed to play, where they get a lead and then they punch you in the mouth with Dalvin and Madison, and then that pass rush when the other team gets one-dimensional is throwing, just gets after that quarterback's ass. I want to see that. Can that be this week? It's possible, man. Next up, key number 3 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. We after that ass, Dak. Yeah, that's right, man. Now, Dak's been pretty pampered and protected, man. So he's only been facing pressure on 28.9% of his dropbacks, which is 30th in the league. For comparison, Kirk is getting heat on 35.9%, which is 10th most in the NFL. And the offensive line, though, and besides Zach Martin, the immortal right guard from Notre Dame, I mean, this offensive line can get got. Tyron Smith is still on IR, so they got rookie Tyler Smith at left tackle, the pride of Tulsa, Connor McGovern at left guard, Tyler Biadish, the stupid Badger, at center, Terrence Steele at right tackle. So, I mean, Zadarius, Daniil, Patrick Jones second, Wanham, Harrison Phillips, pass rushing Harrison Phillips, like they can certainly get after this offensive line, and it can make things very uncomfortable for Dak Prescott. And we've seen Dak will serve up a meatball or two when under pressure and duress. So looking forward to that. Next up, key number 4 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. CD-ROM. Now, I just realized that some of our audience may be too young for CD-ROMs. Like, kids, these little discs that kind of look like Blu-rays, used to go into the computer, and then you could play SimCity 2000 or whatever. But CD Lamb, the pride of Oklahoma, quietly has been becoming one of the better young receivers in the game. 88 targets of the Cowboys' 274 targets a season, so 32% target share. So basically, 1 time out of 3, the ball is going to CeeDee Lamb. Doesn't matter if it's Dak, doesn't matter if it's Cooper Rush. 88 is getting the rock, man. 53 catches, 706 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. Now, he primarily came into the league as a slot guy coming out of Oklahoma, and that's generally where his home is, but he's had to play a lot outside because the Cowboys have had some injuries to wide receivers. Now, he won't be shadowed, but Patrick Peterson, Andrew Booth Jr., whoever starts opposite of him, maybe hopefully Caleb Evans gets back through concussion protocol. Shondon working from the slot. Duke Shelley. Maybe Chris Boyd gets on the field on defense. Who knows? But wherever he goes, 88 has to be watched. He has to be doubled. He has to be tripled. He has to be bracketed. He has to do all of those things where let someone else beat you. Whether it's Michael Gallup or whoever, just do not let CeeDee Lamb beat you. That should be key number 1 for Ed Donatell and company. Next up, key number 5 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, shut down Tony Pollard. Yeah, Vikings fans, we certainly know about Tony Pollard, him busting long-ass runs against us from a couple years back. But, Zeke may return from that knee injury. Who knows? But Tony Pollard, we've said this every single year. Tony Pollard has been the best running back on the Cowboys for the last 3 years. Absolutely. And the only reason that Zeke is still there and getting work is because Jerry Jones signed him to a horrific contract. But Tony Pollard absolutely is that running back 1. 621 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. I mean, we're talking about like Jamal Charles territory here, man. He's dangerous. All he needs is a crease, and he can bust it. So shutting him down on early downs, getting Dak to 3rd and long, pinning your ears back, bringing some heat, and then doubling CD. That sounds like a good plan. How about we do that? Yeah. Next up, key number 6 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. Red zone defense. So, hey, congratulations. The Vikings are no longer the worst red zone defense in the NFL. But they have allowed 18 touchdowns on 25 opponents' trips to the red zone, 72%, which is 31st in the NFL. But they did break that streak. So from the Eagles game to the Bills game, where the Bills scored 2 red zone touchdowns start and then the Vikings stopped them, opposing teams, when they got into the red zone, had scored 15 straight touchdowns. Inside the 20, you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown. It's like we're Oprah up in here. It's ridiculous, man. But, I mean, this is supposed to be a bend but don't break defense. And, yeah, sacks are great. Yes, turnovers are great. That's awesome. But got to be more consistent in the red area. Turn 7s into 3s. Go ahead. Go do that. So once Dallas gets into the red zone, no more. No mas. Force them to a field goal, get a sack, force them to a long field goal, and go from there. Next up, key number 7 for the Vikings to get a win on Sunday. Micah Parsons. I mean, that's the whole thing, where Parsons is legitimately Lawrence Taylor. Like, he is extremely hard to block. He lines up all over the formation, and it's tough, man. 8 sacks, 40 pressures this year. Hopefully, Darrisaw will be cleared by Sunday. But, I mean, if I'm Dan Quinn and Micah Parsons, I'm not lining up over Darrisaw. I'm not lining up over Brian O'Neill. I'm lining up over Ed Ingram. Or I'm finding places where I can have a TNE stunt into Ed Ingram's face. I'm just trying to attack the rookie right guard as much as possible until the Vikings show that they can stop it. So, they have to get Ingram a lot of help, whether it's a back, whether it's a shifting of the line protection, whether it's whatever. So either way, they got to find out where 11 is. They got to block him. They got to double him. They got to triple him. DeMarcus Lawrence ain't a slouch either. So it could be tough on Sunday. Next up, key number 8 for the Vikings to get a win. Kirko. Again, that's it. Kirk Cousins, despite the 2 early interceptions, dropped some dimes. Also, his pocket movement, his pocket awareness is phenomenal. And, I mean, Kirk Cousins, like we said, he's not putting up the huge stats like he has in previous seasons, but he is clutch. 5 game-winning drives he's led this year. And, by the way, I mean, the Bills game ended around like 5:30 Eastern time. So that's basically prime time. So, I mean, I count that as a prime time win, man. But big stage, late window for CBS, good team, good defense coming in, hopefully bouncing back from emotional hangover. Got to cut down on mistakes early on, yes, but keep on rolling. Kirk Cousins is playing some of the best ball of his career right now. Him and Kevin O'Connell, mind meld. Love it. Next up, key number 9, Greg Joseph. Supposedly Greg the Leg, Legatron, whatever. So he's got 5 missed field goals this year, all from 50+, but he's supposed to be a long-distance specialist. Also has 4 missed PATs. So he's got 9 misses in 9 games, averaging 1 miss a game. Unacceptable, especially the way that the Vikings are winning these close games and are, frankly, winning some of these games in spite of Greg Joseph. The go back to the Lions and the Bears game where he had 2 misses apiece. But, I mean, the Vikings, if we're going to play this way, Greg Joseph has to step up, or it's time to move on. Like, if he shanks another field goal, if he's still inside his own head, you can't have this as the weather gets colder and the games get tighter and the games matter more. You can't have that anymore. So Greg Joseph, got to get your ish together or it's time to move on. Lastly, key number 10, no emotional hangover. So this could be a trap game. You could easily see it because it's sort of like the Minneapolis Miracle. You have that big high of coming back, big emotional win. Vikings had it against Buffalo, and then they sleptwalk through the Philadelphia 38-7 game. Right? So Kevin O'Connell, this is his big test. Bringing this team back down to earth, making sure they're working, getting after it this week, and prepared for a very good Dallas Cowboys team, despite what happened in Green Bay blowing the 14-point lead. Whatever. But major test for Kevin O'Connell. This could be a trap game. Vegas seems to think so. That's why the Cowboys are, for some reason, betting favorites, even though they're 6-3, Vikings 8-1. So, Kevin O'Connell, one game at a time, back to business. this is where Kevin O'Connell and his time in New England with Belichick is going to pay off. We're on to Dallas. That's what Kevin O'Connell has to be all freaking week long. So, lastly, final score prediction. Again, this does have the makings of a trap game. Emotional win against Buffalo. You got the Patriots Thursday Night Football. I'm sure Kevin O'Connell sort of wants to get back at Belichick. It's like I could have been replacing Brady right now, but they sent me to the Jets. Doesn't matter. But I think the Vikings, they get their stuff together. And I think that they play a complete game. I think they protect Kirk Cousins. I think they run the football well. I think Jefferson goes off. I think Kirko Chains is back again. I think that defense holds Pollard and Zeke if he plays, and Dak and CeeDee in check. I think they get after that ass. I think they turn over the Cowboys maybe 2-3 times. And I think they have a very impressive win. Give me Vikings 29, Cowboys 23. Now, the Cowboys get 23 in catch-up mode. The Vikings punched the Cowboys in the mouth early and often. Tony Romo was like, no, here comes a draw play. All right, but impressive win against the Cowboys at home, moving to Thanksgiving, then you beat the Patriots, and then you move on from that. You have a mini bye, and then you beat the Jets, and then you just keep rolling, man. One game season, one game at a time. This week, get to 9-1. That's all that matters in the world. And go from there, man. But that's it. Let's take a look at Vikings-Cowboys preview. Let us know your thoughts or our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.